All right. Oh God.
There should be a rule for what you have to do if you roll like double 20s when you have disadvantage or double ones when you have advantage.
What do you want the rule to be?
I don't know. It just seems like it's a 1 in 400 chance, right? So seems like you should commemorate it in some way.
All right. So, quick recap. You guys are in the second hallway. You have discovered what are apparently 3 secret passages hidden behind some of these colored spheres. You also have the archway to the south, which you guys have thus far ignored. Still have your immovable rod stuck into the one-way door that led you here. You went through the red sphere, found 3 chests, opened one, got a giant skeleton as a reward, and then noped out of there pretty quick, narrowly avoiding some really bad outcomes for Oren, thanks to a couple of bad rolls on the skeleton's part and some quick thinking by you guys. So what would you like to do?
I think we had talked about taking that, just taking that last tunnel and exploring it, because there wasn't a lot of interest in re-engaging with the skeleton, and there wasn't a lot of interest in exploring the other gargoyle situation.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah. So I'm definitely once bitten, twice shy. I'm not interested in being the first one down that tunnel.
All right. Well, I will lead the way down the passage, which I feel like makes story sense as well. I've already started going down it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right. So are you all going in, or are you going to let him scout ahead? What's your marching order here?
Yeah, who's our more tanky person? Would that be Tal?
Oh, I mean, Derek swears he's not a tank, but he does have 73 HP.
Yeah, just put him in.
I'll just I'll lead the way though. I'll start it off. I'll walk down this tunnel. I've already been to here. If anyone wants to follow me.
Yeah, I'll follow. I can go second.
I'll go third.
But I'm gonna. Yeah, we'll let Tal bring up the rear since he's not here. It'd be pretty rude to get him killed.
We'll record it.
All right, so I go down and around the corner, and Chris, remind me, this tunnel, does it slope downwards, or is it just or is it pretty even keeled over here?
Yeah, so it starts to slope downward around where you're seeing it cross over with the hallway, and based on the angle at which it's sloping, you think it's probably going, you imagine, underneath that hallway.
Right. Okay, well, let's go. I'll just walk towards the end, unless I run into anything.
Okay, so you get to that point. Is everybody else staying where you're at, or are you following closely?
No, we'll follow.
I think like a 10-foot spacing. Like far enough that if he activates a trap, we're all not going to be in the trap.
I would like for that to be the policy between each of us as well. 10 feet in between.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so you get to that corner, and then you see the tunnel takes a turn. It goes about 20 feet to the south, and then it starts curving to the west out of your vision.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Guys, the tunnel's taking a turn.
And at this
Hopefully
point,
not for the worse.
Oh God.
it's the tunnel's starting to level off, so it's no longer sloping
Okay.
downward.
Can we do like, what is it, like a listen or perception check to see if there's anything ahead that we can hear?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
9.
You don't hear anything.
Yeah.
You might hear River practicing echolocation though. Just a little side thing that I do.
Can I roll to see like how the slope of this tunnel maybe was made? Like, can I do an investigation check on that?
Yeah. How are you investigating?
Like, is it made of dirt? You know, is it like stone? Like, can I touch it, feel it? Can I like grab some of it, smell it? You know, like kind of
Sure.
gather that.
What race are you?
Wait, what am I? I'm an elf, wood elf.
You're a
Ranger.
wood elf. That's right. Okay. Yeah. Give me investigations intelligence, right?
Yes, it
Doesn't
is.
Tall's Belt of Dwarvenkind give him stone cunning?
If he has that, yes. I don't. Do you have the Belt of Dwarvenkind?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he took it to bump his con.
It gave him
Yeah,
a beard,
there it is.
so that's why he wanted it.
Right. Yeah, it's listed in his equipment.
Okay. So. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if you have stone cunning, so you're going to be making an intelligence. This would be a history check.
Okay, I'll make that for Tall.
Oh, Tall has the.
No,
Yeah.
Tall has a dwarven
I
belt,
thought-
and I as the ranger
Okay, I
is
thought
just
we were
gonna analyze stuff. I don't know if I were to roll anything, you'd be like, "Ah, you don't really learn anything," so like it doesn't matter or what?
Are
Yeah.
you trying to have Tal do this instead of you?
I guess so. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So to give me a history intelligence check, and for stone cunning, you'd be adding double his proficiency bonus to the check.
Oh, that's really convenient. Since he has +0 mod for intelligence.
Yeah, but proficiency
27.
27. Okay. Yeah, I'm not. If you can give me a little bit more about what you're trying to find out, since that's such a high roll. But I will say that this, you can definitely tell that this is it's been carved out intentionally. This is not a natural passageway, and from kind of feeling the walls and inspecting the ceiling above you, it seems to be pretty stable. You don't see anything that makes you think that it's immediately at risk for a cave-in.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Shall we keep going?
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna continue going down here and peeking around the corner.
Okay. So this goes about, say, 15 feet, slightly to the west. and then it starts going south again for about 30 feet.
Okay.
And then it starts to curve to the east, again, going out of your view.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go down and peek around again.
Okay, so this goes.
You're just running, and we're just trying to chase you.
Yeah, so you guys are still.
Well, yeah, I'm. River's love of mischief really wants him to use minor illusion to like make a fake cave-in happen, and then have him just go like, just kidding, guys. But you know, we can just assume that likely happened, but I don't want to need to roleplay it.
And I'm assuming you guys are keeping the 10 feet of spacing until you guys tell me otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please.
Okay, so this isn't going to be exactly to scale, I don't think, but this goes about 50 feet to the east, and then it curves again to the south.
Okay. I'm gonna do my little stop here and peek around the corner.
Okay, so you peek around the corner. It goes about another 10 feet, and then you reach a dead end.
I don't necessarily believe the dead end because I'm nervous. I don't want it to like create a slope that hurts me. So I think it's time.
So am I around? Hold on. Oh, I lost my little grabber mover tool. Okay.
You are 10 feet behind him.
Indeed.
Okay. Ooh.
I don't know where I left my mage hand, but I would like to cast mage hand to give this wall just like a solid, this dead end a solid groping.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Okay. Huzzah! Gosh, what's my plus to perception again? Okay. All right, so that's a 24.
Okay, you do find a secret door. And yep. So you, let's see here. It appears to. You think you could get your fingers into a little bit of a space, a gap at the bottom, and it appears to slide upwards, the door. What do you
Hey man, that's exactly what happened to me. Says Horan out loud.
Would I be able to lift it with my mage hand, or do I need my human strength?
You're not sure. You could try it with mage hand. Mage hand does 10 pounds of force. Is that what it's?
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, it's stone. You're guessing it might be too heavy, but you could definitely try
it. Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Okay. It starts to budge a little bit, but you don't think you're getting enough strength with the mage hand to be able to force it open.
And I don't get a sense that I'm triggering any sort of trap by jiggling it.
Give me. Well, let's see. What's your passive perception? Yeah. Okay. No, you're not. from jiggling it, you don't see any effect.
Okay. All right. So I turn back to my companions and I say, "Hey, just in case this door is trapped in a similar way, would you mind if I tie a rope around my waist and I'll hand you three the lead, and I'll walk over and I'll lift this up."
Do you want me
As I
to?
slide down.
Do you want me to try and figure out if I can disable the mechanism?
Oh, if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and give that a shot.
Okay.
I'd like to investigate the door without opening it, but wiggling it only as much as his mage hand ever did.
Right.
Try and see if I can understand or even find the mechanism, or I guess I don't know that there's a mechanism that would maybe spring a trap.
Right. Okay. So you're getting in there. You're getting right up to the door, and you're putting your hands physically under
Yep.
into the gap. You're trying to wiggle it that way. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a perception check to see if you think there's a trap.
My perception. Okay. 29.
Okay. You're not. Seems safe to you. You're not seeing anything that looks like you're not seeing any trigger mechanism.
All right. I'll report back that I didn't find a trigger mechanism, but that I don't really trust this place that well. So we should probably try the rope trick you were talking about.
Okay. Well, then I will cinch the rope around my waist and hand the lead to Orin to deliver to the others.
Yeah, I will. In fact, pass it on immediately, and just be like, "Hey, I don't know if there's much I can do to help here, but
Yeah, we got him.
just hold this." And we want the rope not quite taut. Like we want it like such that River isn't exactly struggling against it, but also it's definitely not touching the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right, so like maybe 4 degrees of deflection, something like that. 5.
If you're not right, Chris is gonna get you.
Hold on. Let me put that into my calculator over here. Okay.
Uh-huh.
The angle of incidence is, I don't know. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna do my best. I guess clean and jerk on this door.
Okay. So you get in there. You do have to apply a little bit of force, but without too much trouble. You force it up. It opens.
Mhm.
And you see a chamber ahead of you, which I'm going to have to take a second here to draw out for you guys.
Guys, there's a chamber, and it might be full of secrets in here.
Mm.
Keep an eye out for really big snakes.
Oh, there's something terrible written on the wall in here too. It says trans men are actually just women. Like, wow, JK's really gone off the handle here.
It's been here all along. I don't know what you guys are talking about. It's always been in Chamber of Secrets.
It was a big one.
Yep. Pardon my sloppy drawing. I'm just trying to do this quickly.
No, I hear you.
It looks like you're making a calendar.
Huh. Okay, so
Damn. This is a very big chamber.
And can we see the opposite wall? I mean,
It's going to be. Let's see. You can't at this point. It's too. You're too far back. Your dark vision wouldn't extend that far. So the room goes at least this far.
Okay.
You can sort of see it trailing off. You're not sure.
is there
What
a
is-
drop into this room like there was in the last one?
There is not.
Okay. Somebody want to run back and get the immovable rod real quick? I feel like we're drifting too far from it for my.
That'll mean the door will be closed for sure, as long as we're okay with that.
I feel like that was always going to happen.
It was always a one-way trip.
No.
How does dimension door work again?
It's a short range personal teleport. You can take some
Okay.
amount of stuff with you.
So it's not like I can't be like, well, I could always dimension door out of this place.
I don't think the range is enough. I think the range is like 60 feet.
I think it's more like 500 feet.
Yeah, you're right. It is 500 feet.
Okay,
So I could just like dimension door 30 feet up, and I would probably be back on the cliff where we first arrived.
Probably. You can bring one willing
Unless I
creature
have
of
to
your
like
size.
see where I'm going.
Okay, Chris, I've gone past Tal, run back through the corridor, went here, grabbing my movable rod.
Yep.
And I click it, pull it through, door closes in front of my face. I go, "Ugh, all right, that's it.
Yep.
We're dead. Move back here, go through. Now Tal will be here, and I'll be taking the rear.
This is interesting. It looks like a church.
So I will.
I was gonna say it looks like there's 8 very large potatoes in here.
Oh,
Okay, so what you see ahead of you is what is obviously some form of temple area. On the walls, so there's murals on the walls here. It's not undecorated stone. And you're seeing scenes of normal life painted on the walls, like people living and working in a village of some kind. But the people all have rotting flesh, skeletal hands, worms eating them, and so forth. But you're also, oddly enough, seeing depicted, scattered amongst the murals, various religious symbols, which, from a passing knowledge, you recognize at least a few of them as belonging to gods which are of good alignment. And there is a mosaic tile path, which is multicolored red, which I've drawn out, which is 2 feet wide, similar in design to the tile path that you guys saw in that first hallway you were in. And that is leading in the center of the room. So that snakes over to the side and then leads through the center of the room between 4 rows of wooden pews that face the south end of the room. In front of the pews is what appears to be a wooden railing that's dividing the rest of the room. And then there's some sort of object at the end of the mosaic tileway path, just past where those dividing wooden railings are, but it's a little bit past the edge of your dark vision. You can't quite make out what it is.
So what? The big things are they're like seats. They're like pews.
They appear to be pews, yes.
Interesting.
And you can't quite make out whether how far beyond the railings this room goes, or what's at the far end, if where the end is, and then what would be kind of past where this object is. Right where those railings are is about how far your vision extends at this point.
Mm.
That's what River sees. The rest of you, are you guys up with River now, or are you still hanging 10 feet back?
No, I'm definitely maintaining that 10-foot distance.
Okay, so that's what River sees. You can relay that to the party if you want.
Okay. I turn back to them and I say, guys, this really is a tomb of horrors. There's a church in here. And I say, you can I'll take back the rope now if you don't mind, and I start to back if presuming they let it go, and
Which I do.
And then I just walk into the space, and before any of the party joins me in here, I would like to use my minor illusion to clothe myself in a fake wedding dress. So when they see me, that's what I'm wearing.
Oh.
Very good. When you step into the room, there's that red path right there. Are you intentionally walking on the red path, or are you stepping on it at any point? What are you doing?
Oh, well, I guess I walked in. I missed that part of your drawing. But I assume, given the previous circumstance and how River did not take the red path in the previous hallway, skirts it and hangs very close to the edge of the wall, just in case there's a trap door.
Okay.
Underneath it.
All right. So you get to that point, nothing happens to you.
Okay.
And
So I don my wedding dress then, if you'll allow it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Is that a cantrip for you?
Yeah. What? Let me.
Minor illusion.
Now, can minor illusion move with you?
I guess I'll just wait here, wearing it. I'm not sure if minor illusion can move with me, but I hope it can. I know it won't be able to flow like actual fabric or anything. I think it's like I poorly rendered like a 3D, very PS1 generation graphic wedding dress over me.
Yeah, that sounds right.
All right, and it can be no larger than a 5-foot cube. Yeah, so I think that would cover most of your body.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to check these first couple squares along the red path and look for traps.
Are you stepping into the room, or are you trying to inspect it from the doorway?
Let's try and inspect it from the doorway for now.
All right. Visual inspection, I'll let you get the first 2 squares there.
Okay.
So, well, I'm assuming you're talking about this one and then the next one along the path.
Yes.
Okay. All right, perception check.
25.
You're not seeing anything that looks like the edges of any pit traps based on the kind of layout you've seen previously.
Okay. I guess I'm surprised to see River in a wedding dress. Like, just what? How did that happen?
Oh, I just thought it would be weird. Is it weird?
It is weird. It's super weird.
Okay, great, excellent. That's what I'm here for.
Awesome. Well, as long as you're having a good time, I guess.
Yeah. Just don't throw rice. It'll expand in my chicken stomachs and kill them.
No. Poor chickens. Does this little path look like it's been written in? Like the path we saw before?
Perception check. Well, actually, the 25, I think that's high enough. I'll let you keep that. You're not squinting at it, kind of tilting your head. You're not getting, at this point, the same effect that you got the last time.
All right. So I guess. I don't know what to do. What do you guys think?
I think your character is pretty burned by this place, but
Yeah.
I also feel like this would be a very exciting archaeological part of this tour so far.
Yeah, definitely. There's like a desire to run in and like copy down as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm comfortable just running in.
All right. Well, I still have. I have full health now, I believe. I should be back to full health, and yeah. So I'm gonna continue to walk along the edge to here and look down the aisle, see if anything arises, because like this is like what might trigger a boss encounter in a video game is reaching the hallway.
Okay. Yeah, so at this point, you can make out that object that is at the end of the red path past where those railings are, it does appear to be an altar. And you're seeing, it's towards the end of your dark vision, but you're seeing that the altar appears to be, it has a slight glow that appears to be emanating from the altar itself, maybe the material, you're not sure, that has it's an opalescent blue color, the glow. And you can also make out what, at the very end of your dark vision, you think you can see that this back set of squares here, that this is the back wall of this chamber. And at this point, you can make out what appears to be a chair.
Okay.
Immediately behind the altar. And then on either, the chair appears to be on a dais, so it's slightly elevated from the rest of the room. And on either side of the chair, there appear to be candelabras here and here. You can't make out much detail because this is at the edge of your dark vision. And if there's anything,
Can I tell if they're scented candles from here?
You are not getting a waft of any scent from where you're standing.
Missed opportunity.
Okay, I'm gonna walk along the red path into here, and then I'd like to see if I think if this pew in front of me is trapped in any way.
Okay, so you're inspecting it from back there.
Yeah, I'm not trying to touch anything that I don't feel safe about yet.
Okay. You can't really. You can't get a full inspection of like the whole pew. I don't think.
Right, I'm probably too short to look over it.
Yeah, you might be able to peek over it, but you're not really getting a good view of the seat or like. I'm letting you know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
20.
Okay. Nothing standing out to you about the pew.
I would like to use Mage Hand to scatter more of my chicken feed down this aisle.
Okay.
And then let's to take it all the way to the altar. So make a very thin line of feed. Holding your hand like that, like you're just slowly releasing sand. And then I would like to withdraw 2 of my chickens and let them walk down the aisle with each other. To both have a cute chicken, I assume lesbian chicken wedding ceremony because they are all female chickens. But also
Chickens
to
are
see
also apparently larger than all of your party members, but
of course,
I can't resize it. It's a little late.
no.
And I also just want to see if they get as soon as they get close to the altar, if they get if their faces melt like a Nazi when they
Right.
get close.
Okay. So you're throwing the chicken feed down the aisle and you're trying to get the chicken feed all the way down to the end by the altar.
Yeah. Well, so I'm specifically putting a handful in Mage Hand and
Okay.
drawing a very precise line all the way down to in front of the altar.
Are you trying to get it on top of the altar or right next to it? Or
right in front of it,
Okay.
It's on a
Okay. You do that.
Would you all be cool if I can enter the room too? I need to move.
Yeah.
I need to move Tall.
Oh yeah.
So Tall, where do you want him? Should he not be stepping on the red line?
I have been.
Okay. How about we'll put him?
I think it's a personal choice at this point.
All right. I'm gonna put him here, not touching the red line. And then I want to be in the room too in case we have to roll for initiative or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Can I be back here with you, Orin, or do you want space?
Yeah, do as you please.
Okay. Not on the red line. If that matters.
You all have to be present for the chicken wedding.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you throw your chicken feed. I'm not going to make you roll for it. You get at least a few kernels close to the end of the path by the altar, and your chickens slowly, happily start pecking and walking down the center aisle. Sometimes stepping on the red path, sometimes not. Nothing seems to happen to them immediately. Are you trying to wait till they get all the way to the end? Or
Yeah. I just want to watch them reach the altar.
Okay. So you wait. I'm going to say maybe 5 minutes. While they take their time, really looking for feed. They make it right to the last few kernels that you have right in front of the altar and peck them off the floor. And then look back at you expectantly.
Oh, I didn't write vows for them. I should have written vows for them.
Bummer. Man.
All right. Well, then I, having seen that, I walk forward to retrieve them.
Okay.
I'd like to climb up on this pew, like directly over the back. But I'd like to stay. I assume they're not just like flat benches. They're like a backed pew.
Yes, there's a back.
Okay, so I want to climb up onto the back and try not to put any pressure on the seats. Like I want to perch on the back of the pew.
Okay.
And then I would like to examine the pew from that angle and see if I learn anything new about the pews.
Okay. River, while you're walking down the aisle to get your chickens, are you stepping on the path? Are you avoiding the path? What are you doing?
I am intentionally avoiding the path. I don't believe in stepping on red lines.
Okay. You successfully make it up to your chickens, and you can pick them up if you so wish.
Yeah. Do I just delete one? And
That's fine.
Yeah, there's a spare asset by the roll tracker, so you can just delete them.
Do I see anything new from my position now? Any other parts of the room?
Yes, you do.
Reveal themselves.
I will draw in a little bit more detail. So from here, you can see
Gotta use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
okay, so from where you stand, one other thing. That's a really shitty drawing. Okay, so you can see the altar, which I've already mentioned. The chair, which is immediately behind the altar, is very nicely carved, and the seat is padded. On either side of, and it's a two-level dais that the chair is on. So it's a step up. On either side of the dais are large freestanding brass candelabras. Each are holding 5 white candles.
Okay.
In each corner of the room is a large white pottery urn. And then on the western wall, you can see an archway, which is similar in design to the archways that you guys have seen and mostly avoided up to this point. So it has the same sort of design in terms of stonework, with the larger keystone at the top and 2 larger stones at the base on either side. And it is similar to the other archways you've encountered, filled with these slightly orange tinted vapors that are opaque. You can't see what's on the other side of it. And sprawled on the floor in front of that archway is a skeleton wearing black chainmail that appears to be rusted and damaged. and the skeleton's draped out on the floor, but its arm is outstretched with one of its fingers pointing directly at the archway.
Oh,
Yeah. Cool.
So the
Oh,
archway
and
is
I'm
on the
sorry.
West side.
Yeah, the archway is.
Okay.
This is the archway. That's the skeleton. And Oren, give me a perception check for inspecting that pew.
Oof, 15.
Yeah, nothing's standing out to you about the pew. It's got a wooden seat, you can see, but nothing apparently
Okay.
remarkable.
I'm going to lower myself down into the pew. And then what I'm going to do is sort of walk to the end of it, opposite me. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Hold on.
So you're walking along the seat?
Yeah. And then when I get towards the center, I'm going to try and hop forward one pew without touching the ground.
Okay.
The floor, as you may have noticed, is lava.
All right. All right. You step onto the seat. Nothing happens. Give me an acrobatics check to see if you can get yourself balanced onto that next pew when you make your jump. This is, yeah, that looks like it would be
Acrobatics.
acrobatics, yes.
Okay. $24. Which
Okay,
includes a natural 20.
Nice. So are you trying to balance yourself on the back of the pew and not?
Oh, no, not particularly. I assume the pews are alike, which may prove to be a mistake, but I didn't think I could make that shot. I was just kind of trying to like not touch the floor.
Okay.
So
All right.
no, I assume that I would like sort of vault over it and land on the seat of the next pew, and then maybe, do that gymnast thing where they stick their hands out in front of them and then stand up straight.
All right. Perfect 10. You successfully jump. You land.
Even from the Russian judge? Fuck yeah.
Yeah, 24 is nothing to sneeze at. Yep. So you land on the seat. Nothing happens.
Cool. Am I central enough to see all of the murals on the walls at this point?
I'd say you can make out most of the room from this point. I'd say it looks like some of the corners would probably be towards the edges of your dark vision, I think. But
should have 60 feet, right?
yeah.
Maybe this lower left region.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's a 45-degree angle, so let's root 2, 1.4. So 1.4 times 10, 20, 30, 40. Yeah. That last corner. I'd like to copy down as many of the murals as I can, like descriptions of as many murals as I can, and drawings where I can make them. How many pieces of parchment would you like me to consume to do that?
How detailed are your drawings? Are you trying to reproduce them faithfully, or just kind of?
Yeah, no, academically detailed.
Okay.
I'll willingly sit here for like 30 minutes trying to like fucking really like get as much down. I'm not really an artist, so I'm not super interested in like copying down like stroke for stroke the exact thing. I'm not trying to recreate it such that people don't have to visit, but enough detail that like I could say cite this in some kind of paper.
Okay, I'll say 3 pieces of parchment.
Okay.
So you're doing that for a while. What is everybody else doing?
I mean, yeah, I'm having a hard time trying to figure out like where to go. Is the floor really lava?
It's on you to find out.
Really, you want me to test the limits of this room?
That's where I'm at. I've been burned enough times by this place that I'm just like taking the most non-traditional, trying to outthink a server rack right now.
Yeah, I think if you can search around to see if there's another exit from this room, because River has 2 rules. It's don't step on the red lines unless you have to, and don't walk through archways filled with tang mist.
Sounds like from experience you've learned that.
Yeah, I just, misty doorways. Why? They're so foreboding, especially this one, which has the creepy skeleton pointing.
In front of it, like looking away from it, though, right?
He's facing towards it on his stomach, pointing at the archway.
Oh, okay. I thought it was at the altar.
No, that's his drawing of the skeleton.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I'll see if I could do a perception check here and see up against the back wall and this west wall to see if there's anything like... how do I put this? Not like an indent, but like... I'm trying to look for like hidden doorways or something of the effect. I'm not sure, like, to be more precise.
Okay.
I'm guessing it's an investigation check or perception check. I guess we'll know in just a moment.
Yeah, I would say if you're trying to find secret doors, it would be a perception check.
All right.
And yeah, that's a lot of ground to cover. So where are you checking?
Can I utilize Tall and have him work the opposite, like the opposite diagonal at the same time?
Yeah, I'll draw. So do you want me to do perception check per 10 feet? Per 10 foot?
No, I would say maybe half of each wall. I'll say you could cover with 1 perception check.
Okay. So half of this back wall, half of this westward wall. I'm gonna roll.
Okay, so that would be 2 perception checks.
Okay.
And can I do the same for Tall on the opposite corner?
Yes.
All right. So I did 20. So 7 plus 13. I did 20 for the back wall,
Okay.
What is Tall's perception?
and I did 10 for the west wall.
Let's go to 9 perception.
And along the west wall. Okay. Yeah, you're not in either of those 2 sections. You're not seeing anything that looks like a secret door.
Okay.
Ooh. Tall got a 25 and then rolled got 29.
What sections is he checking?
He's the sections where I put him, the standing
On the right
right here, just like
The east wall.
yeah.
Okay,
the
so
east wall.
all along the east wall. Okay. All right. So you're not finding anything that looks like a secret door. You do notice right here with your natural 20. That's not how I want to draw it. I'm just going to have to make a mark to sort of indicate this is where it is. catches your eye. It's really hard to see because it's sort of hidden amongst the murals, but you can see what appears to be a small slit or slot in the wall directly opposite from the archway. This is an out of world reference, but it looks like it's about the size of one of the slots from like an old timey arcade coin slot like that. It's about that thickness and that size. And there's
does it look like a knife would fit inside of it and lead us to a temple that floods?
It's depending on the size of the knife, you could probably fit a knife through the slot. You do see drawn above the slot, there is a circle drawn with black ink. It looks like a letter O. I mean, you guys don't know the English alphabet, but just so you can picture it, it looks like an O drawn right above where the slot is.
Okay. Well, I don't know what Tal would do upon discovering this, but say, aside from saying, "Hey guys, I discovered this."
Where's that at? Okay.
It'd be cool if our rogue can see if like something shoots out of it. You know, since it's lined up against the portal there, the tank.
Oh yeah, it could.
Yeah.
What if it shot this guy who's dead on the ground over here, like in the back?
Ooh. Actually, I'm gonna walk up against this wall down here. Does anything happen to me?
Nope.
All right, I want to take a good look at that dead body. Did he fall face forward? Did he fall on his back?
By the way, I'm waiting for Chris to let me know I'm done drawing. I assume this is all taking place while I'm taking my meticulous notes.
Yes. I'll say it has taken them a few minutes to carefully search those sections of wall, so you can be done at this point.
Okay.
So you're trying to...
Yeah, Diaz, do you have points in forensics?
In forensics. I got my gloves right here.
Yeah. So sorry. Say again what you're trying to determine about the skeleton.
You said the armor was damaged. I would love to know more about that. Is the skeleton lying face down or face up? You know, kind of like really basic anatomical issues with the skeleton. Like I want to, like, if it blew through the skeleton, like whatever, if there's a hole through the armor, did it go through the skeleton as well? You know, stuff like that.
Okay. Give me a perception check. And you're not getting right up next to the skeleton. You're trying to inspect from that other side of that railing.
Yes.
Okay.
21.
Nice.
And I apologize. I have to go back. Tal, in order to get up to that section of wall, how did he jump over the railing?
I just
did he
happened
walk
to
around
here, and so he was perceivably assuming
Okay,
just,
so
like,
just
leaning
visually
over the railing and looking at the wall.
Okay. With a natural 20, I'll let that go.
Okay.
Okay. So with the skeleton, so the armor It's black chainmail, and it appears to be badly rusted and damaged. There's not. You don't see anything that looks like a hole or a big puncture wound that like doesn't look like something pierced through the armor in a particular spot. It just looks pretty rusted. Some of that probably has come from the passage of time. The skeleton is lying face down. Its head, the face is tilted towards you right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the one arm is at its side, and the other is, like I mentioned, it's outstretched with a finger pointing towards the archway.
Natural causes. Case closed. We can leave.
Okay.
How much of this red line can I inspect from where I'm at visually?
Visually, I mean, you can see the whole path from there, I would say. So you're not getting your face right up next to the tiles, but I mean, you can see the whole thing.
Right, but if I wanted to say, like, make a perception check to try and see if there's a message in this one too.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead and give me a perception check. Which is a natural one, even though I don't think you can critically fail or succeed. Skill checks like this, but maybe. Yeah, nothing's jumping out to you as hiding any sort of message.
All right. At this point, people have walked around the room enough that I'm feeling a little more comfortable. So I'm going to hop down and head over to where Tall's at. And then I assume this railing is taller than me?
Yeah, I'd say it comes up to around eye level for you.
Okay. Is it like a solid divider, or is it like a fence?
Yeah, it's more like a fence. There are gaps, and it's intricately carved, made out of wood.
Gaps I could fit through?
No, a little too small for that.
Okay. I'd like to. How far off the ground is this slot that I'm expecting?
The slot would be about 4 feet off the ground.
Okay. So I'd like to hop the railing, and when I land on the other side, I want to really crouch down. I want to stay out of sort of like the line of sight of that slot.
Okay.
Anything happen?
Nope.
Okay. Now I would like to inspect this slot and see what I can figure out about it. If there's a mechanical mechanism involved, I don't think I'd be able to inspect for a magical mechanism, but maybe somebody has detect magic.
I think Tal does.
Tal does have detect magic. So we'll think about it. But I'm just going to do the physical inspection first.
Mm-hmm.
How are you inspecting it? You're just
again trying to stay out of the line of sight, but like I'll put my face pretty close up to it and try and fiddle with a little O and see if there's like a button hidden underneath it, or scratch away at like the edges and like see if I can figure anything else out about it.
Are you looking into the slot? Are you putting anything into the slot?
I wouldn't look into the slot,
Okay.
but I might. Let's see if I have anything I might stick in the slot.
Quarter.
Yeah. I might use my themes. I'm sure there's some kind of probe in the themes tools.
Okay.
I might use it to sort of like gently like to see if there's anything deep in there that I'm like can't like visually see and try and get like a light understanding. But I wouldn't be putting very much force behind it at all. It's just like a feeling implement.
Maybe there's a
Okay.
Witcher on the other side that you have to toss a coin to.
Maybe. But I think those guys generally tend to hang out in the Valley of Plenty.
Okay. Since you're kind of doing both a visual inspection and you're using your tools to sort of feel around, I'll let you give me either a perception or an investigation check. Your
Yeah,
choice.
I technically have a slightly higher investigation. Plus 12 rather than plus 11. So I guess I'll do an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
14. Boy, this
Okay.
die really has hot streaks and cold streaks.
All right. So you you don't notice anything about where the O is. It appears just to be painted on. When you manage to take your probe and you stick it into the slot, nothing immediately happens, but feeling around, you can kind of tell that there's a it'd be kind of like an angled ramp sort of on the opposite side of the slot, that if you put something in and let it go, it would slide along that ramp to your probe can't tell you where.
Do you think
feel
a
how far that
piece or a silver piece would fit?
yes, it would.
Okay. I'm going to go back and read the poem and see if there's anything in there about it.
Good idea.
Because my first thought, honestly, is that line about if shades of red stand for blood, the wise will not need sacrifice aught but a loop of magical metal. Like, do I think if I took off a ring and put it like if I had like a metal ring, do I think that it would fit in this slot?
A ring would fit.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there's a magic ring somewhere that that would go in here. I'm very worried that the ring is in those chests we decided not to fuck with.
Not our fault. I mean, like, you opened one chest and you almost died.
Yeah. No, I'm not interested in going back. Yeah, all right, I'm going to read this poem. You guys go ahead and do whatever else you want to do.
All right. Well, oh no. I'm gonna join you guys over at the
Are there columns here?
O spot.
In this room, there are no columns.
If I walk over to join by the O spot and I walk past the altar like that while stepping over the red line, does anything happen to me?
Okay, so you're trying.
I was here.
Yeah, so you step over the red line, the red path, and you're kind of shimmying between the railing and the altar, not touching the altar.
Yes.
Yeah, nothing happens to you.
when I'm right here as I'm passing through, staring at the altar, do I notice anything new about the altar since I am so close to it?
Perception check.
That would be a 24.
Okay. The altar is. So you don't recognize the material that it's made out of. The material is rather strange. It's kind of like a marble, but it has, like I mentioned, this. It appears to be glowing with an inner light that has this opalescent blue color.
Okay.
And the altar is pretty intricately carved. And what's the figures that are carved on it appear to mirror the scenes that are painted on the murals on the walls of the room.
Okay. Well, I take note of that. I walk over behind Orin and remind me what did you say that Orin saw something when he looked through the slot, or did he not look through the slot?
I chose not to look through the slot.
Okay, I'm gonna go over and look through the slot.
Okay. You put your eye up next to the slot, and at this point, nothing immediately happens. But if you're holding your torch in your hand to give you a little bit of light, you can see the same thing that Orin revealed from his physical inspection with his thieves' tools, that there appears to be kind of an angled, small ramp that tilts downward, so that if you did put something in the slot, you imagine that it would slide down that ramp. You can't see how far the ramp goes. It angles pretty steeply out of your view, and otherwise it's you can't really see anything else about what's on the other side of the slot.
Right. Do I have any willing volunteers that I could I could polymorph someone into an animal, like a snake, that they could slide through?
No.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
No. Tall?
Also, I think you when you get polymorphed, you don't get to keep your mental stats.
Right.
So I would just become a snake.
Mm.
That'll be the end.
So you're trying to figure out like that something must go in that slot in order to maybe open it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Oh, hey, is the skeleton wearing a ring?
Yeah, can I do a perception check for that?
I call out to
Yeah, I'll say
Diaz.
Diaz, from his previous perception check, you can see both hands. The skeleton does not appear to be wearing any rings.
Does he have any toe rings?
Brody.
Wearing boots.
I don't see any toe rings, guys, because of the boots. I'm looking at the same poem, and the thing about the Iron Men of visage grim do more than meets the viewer's eye. Does this count? Does this
Could.
count?
I don't think so. I assume there'd be more than one, and he'd be made of iron. and not a skeleton.
He's wearing iron.
That's fair.
I can throw him through the Tang mist.
Let's do it. Yeah, the other thing I'm thinking of is if you find the false, you find the true, and into the columned hall you'll come, and there the throne that's key and keyed. But there's no columns here, so probs fine.
What do the
Okay.
what do the murals depict where Tal and Diaz are standing?
Yeah, so there's no obviously specific feature where they're standing. It's just a continuation of these scenes of village life with the deathly looking figures, faces being eaten by worms, skeletal hands, decaying flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So it's everyday life, but are people like screaming and like their flesh is melting, they're being turned into skeletons, and then they're just skeletons doing everyday life things?
Trying to interpret your question. The figures don't appear to be. I mean, you can't read their emotions too well by the fact that they're skeletons, but none of them are like obviously screaming and writhing in pain. They're just going about their day. They don't appear to be disturbed by the fact that they're skeletons, at least from what you can tell.
Okay, so is the depiction like a chronological order of events where there are real people, and then they start melting, and then they become skeletons, but they're still like plowing the fields as skeletons now?
Right. All of the figures are similarly affected. There aren't any that are humans without the melting flesh, etc. They're all in approximately the same state.
Which is skeletons.
They're not fully skeleton. They have like their hands might be. Some of them have like their face will be melted and some skull will be exposed. Some of them have their hands are skeletal, but like they look like they're decomposing basically.
But they're still like plowing the fields. Nothing's wrong with like they're like, hey John, just like waving to their neighbor, and their hand is just like a fucking skeleton.
Yeah, because they're all liches.
What does it mean? What does a lich
mean? Honestly, also a lich is when an arcane practitioner becomes powerful enough and frankly evil enough, they become a form of undead that they use their arcane magic to become like undying.
Okay.
And therefore undead. And so liches tend to have, I don't know how much of this my character would know. I feel like a fair amount as someone who is trying to figure out what the hell a demi-lich is.
Mm-hmm. So would a scene in which there are a bunch of them just hanging out make sense? It sounds like it's a hard thing to do.
Not really. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's what but it's very like lichdom is not an instantaneous process. It's like a slow evolution. It's like your soul becomes undying, but your body does not, and so your body begins to like shrivel and rot and all of that. Liches store their soul in an inanimate object, and then they can use that inanimate object. It's called a phylactery. They can use that to regenerate their body. And so it almost feels like he's telling us that he did a similar thing, but to like a whole bunch of people, like a whole village full of people.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps he stole their souls, and so this is the soulless result of that is all of these slowly decaying bodies that continue to work a Cerverax field. Because I mean, if he's like an ancient lord,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then he would have had all this land, and he would have needed it worked. Maybe he stole people's souls and then animated their bodies to do it. I still don't know what that means about the room where everyone's holding a globe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't like.
So here's what I'm
blind gods.
Sorry, say that again.
something I'm thinking about here is. Oh god.
I was just wondering. You said you had some good aligned gods. There were some good aligned gods carved into the walls.
Yeah, from your knowledge of it's the symbols of good aligned gods. Like you I don't know if any of you are trained in religion, but some of the big names like Palor, for example, you see a symbol that's obviously of Palor. Various other good aligned god symbols that are carved or rather painted on the murals interspersed amongst these figures.
Tal is trained in religion.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of us are not. Oh shit, Oren is trained in history. I forgot about that. Can Tal try and identify as many of these gods as he can?
Sure.
Can we roll for that?
Yeah, roll a religion check.
All right. 10.
Okay. I'm not going to give you a full list of all of the gods, but he definitely confirms that he recognizes every single symbol as a god of good alignment. But other than that, he's not discerning anything that seems like nothing's jumping out to him as any sort of pattern about, or they're not all worshipped by the same people or the same races. There's nothing that sort of ties them together other than their alignment.
And how are the symbols incorporated again?
They're not really incorporated into the background scene. They're just scattered sort of haphazardly. It's like somebody painted the murals and then these symbols were just drawn on the walls on top of them. They're not incorporated into the background.
Well, I got nothing.
So I sort of think my instinct, which began as a joke, is sort of true in this area because by that I mean wearing a wedding dress and having a wedding for the chickens. Like, we have this hole in the wall that is asking, I believe, is asking for us to deposit a ring.
Right. I buy that.
And I think that's what this room is sort of representing is some sort of it's not a full-size church. It's sort of like chapel.
Yeah.
Like. So what I'm wondering is there anyone, I know someone has a ring, right? I forget if is it you, Oren, who has a ring?
I have a ring. It's a ring of protection.
Yeah. So I don't feel like you probably don't want to just like risk depositing that. But what I did look at is that Tal has a crowbar, a hammer, and 10 pitons, and pitons traditionally have loops at the end.
Okay.
And so Tal should be able to, or if, actually maybe he can't because he only has one hand, but if he was willing to give me a piton, his crowbar, and his hammer, I should be able to knock off the loop of one of the pitons and thus make a makeshift ring out of that, and then deposit that into the slot and see if that does anything.
Mhm.
Well, so we don't have to play with his inventory. I actually have all those things too, and I'm definitely willing to give you a piton, a crowbar, and a hammer, and see if you can do that.
I mean, yeah, I feel like it's rule of if I as Paul Bianchi feel like I could do that in real life, River should certainly be able to do that. It's not like it's not a blacksmith skill. It's just chiseling.
I do wonder how hardened the pitons are, though. The pitons, however you pronounce that word.
I think it's piton.
Piton. That's probably what it is.
I think it's French, like so it should be like
Piton.
piton.
Okay, I buy it. What do you think, DM?
You think it's a reasonable enough plan. You could probably get a loop of metal off of the end of one of the pitons, the pitons, the pitons.
The croutons.
That's what they are.
All right. Well, I will get to work on that, and if I need to do any sort of roll, to maybe that's a strength roll, or I don't know, to get through that.
Yeah, so I'm going to say you're going to have to fuss with this for a couple of minutes. Are the rest of you just waiting for that, or are you guys going to do something else? What are y'all doing?
I mean, I would love to investigate this skeleton, but I'm afraid, like, the moment I touch it, it just animates back. So I would love to have some backup in the event that might happen. What do y'all think?
Okay.
Yeah. Do we want to just like send Tall over to touch it first? Isn't that what you guys do when I'm not around? Is just like send it into danger?
That's true. I mean, like Tall would just like investigate like getting the armor off, getting the shoes off, basically just like robbing this dead skeleton.
Yeah.
But really,
Do you think we should have Tall detect magic? Maybe. Okay, I'm kind of interested in knowing if this altar is magical in nature.
Yeah, actually,
But it sure fucking looks like it.
let's do that. What does that cost, Tall, to do that?
He's got it in his prepared spells, so I'll just have him. I'll modify his expended.
Sounds good.
He's out. He's running out of slots. We might want to find a place to take a long rest soon.
I mean, this place seems pretty good, right? I mean, you got benches.
For some definition of good.
Oh yeah, we could all sleep on a pew.
Yeah.
All right, so Tall casts detect magic
On the altar.
As I recall, detect magic is kind of like you cast it on yourself, right?
Right.
If
Okay.
you get like a cone of vision. But yes, the first thing he's going to investigate is the altar.
Okay. So yeah, you take a look at the altar. The altar is magical,
Oh shit.
and you are getting a moderately strong aura of evocation magic off of the aura, off of the altar.
What does that mean? Evocation?
The creating of things, if I'm not mistaken.
That's about right.
Okay.
Let me.
You know what, I'll look up the passage in the player's handbook that describes that school, and then I will read it aloud.
Okay.
You guys can do other things while I'm looking that up.
Investigate the skeleton body as well.
Okay. Evocation spells manipulate magical energy to produce a desired effect. Some call up blasts of fire or lightning. Others channel positive energy to heal wounds.
Oh, okay.
And who's investigating the skeleton?
Well, Tall is just gonna look at the skeleton and see if there's any energy coming.
It's magical.
Yeah.
Okay. The skeleton is not magical.
Nothing about the
You're not-
skeleton's magic.
You're not getting an aura from the skeleton.
And I'm assuming it's just a blinding aura from the Tang mist, right?
So when you look at the mists, you get a. Let's see what you would see here.
I feel kind of dumb. Have we never cast like detect magic and looked at the mist?
No, I don't think we have.
Okay. Because it's like, duh, magic.
I
Right?
think we kind of were just like, yeah, that's obviously magical.
Yeah. But I didn't realize
That's
you,
all.
you could get the nature of it.
So from the mist, so the archway is not magical. The mist is, and you are getting auras of conjuration and transmutation.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
Meaning we go through, we might get turned into a ferret.
Yeah, all teleporting is all teleportation magic is conjuration. So
Why does that remind me of Dark Souls? Like when you go through like the veil, and then you just like
yeah,
see the boss.
absolutely full on Foggate vibes.
Sick. Okay. Thanks, Chris, for enlightening us on that. I mean, does Tal, if he were to look around the rest of the room, like the candles, kind of like this side of the wall, this outside of the wall, anything else?
Right. Yeah, so you've got, he's got 10 minutes on this. So I would say you could take a look at the rest of the room. So is he going up and physically inspecting anything and moving around, or he's just kind of spinning in a circle and seeing what he can see? Because his range is.
What's the strength of the aura on the mist?
It's a pretty strong aura. So yeah, he's got a 30-foot range. So tell me where you want him to look. He can see anything that's within 30 feet, but that's not gonna cover the whole room
Okay.
unless he moves around.
Okay. I imagine he can see the candle holders that are south of River.
Yep.
Anything interesting there? No.
The candelabras and the candles are not magical. He's not detecting any aura there.
Cool. We can steal it, guys.
The vases either.
Those, you're not getting any magical aura from those.
Alrighty. Do you guys?
What about the chair?
The chair does not emit any sort of magical aura.
About the ring hole?
The ring hole. No, you don't get any sort of magical aura from where the slot is.
And presumably the pews nearest him aren't giving magical auras, so we'll just assume that none of the rest of them are.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're not turning his attention to the pews. You don't see any magical aura coming off of them.
I imagine like one of us just like has him like he's just like pointing his head and just like pointing everywhere like a lantern. It's like, what do you see there?
What do your elf eyes see, Tom? Except he's human.
Which makes it weirder.
He's a human druid.
Okay.
Right, that's why he has dark vision as the belt of dwarven kind.
That's right. And the beard.
Convenient.
I don't know what else to do other than wait for River to mess with the croutons and see if he can throw one through the slot, and then we'll see what happens.
I mean, if you just used 10 minutes to detect magic, I should be done. Knocking off the side.
I'll say, yeah, you have. Yeah, you've spent 10 minutes with it, so yeah, I'll say you've managed to get a loop of metal off of one of the batons. It's about the size of what a ring medium-sized creature would wear.
Cool.
Yeah, it wouldn't be comfortable, I'm sure. But yeah, I pick up the ring. I say, with this ring, I thee wed, and I like put it into a slot with like the sort of force that you can do when you like put a quarter into a machine, like with that extra little like kick to it.
Okay. You do that. You hear the loop of metal slide down that ramp. After a couple of seconds, you hear kind of like a tink, 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 like it's hit something. But nothing happens.
Oh. Well, that was my idea, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I assume that not
Maybe-
any ring will work. I assume there's a specific ring that we have to find. Maybe not. I kind of assume there's a specific enchantment on a specific loop of metal that we have to find.
Yeah. Maybe we could check. Did you say the pews have cushions, or are they completely made out of wood?
The seats are wooden.
The seats are wooden. I think sometimes pews, like the seats lift up so that the hymnals are stored inside. Like, have we checked to see if the pew is open?
Oh,
Mm-mm.
No one has done that.
I'll do that on my side.
Okay.
I go over. I try and lift up as if the seat contained a secret compartment below.
Okay. You do that.
Mhm.
And
Roll a
So-
death save.
in 1 second.
There'll be a skeleton inside, I'm sure, when you attack.
Yeah, you lift up the seat of. You're checking. You're standing in the right spot. You're checking that front one, right?
Yep.
You lift up the seat. It flips up easily enough. The seat
Wow.
has a hinge, and but you hear a small bang, and a cloud of gas emits from the inside of where that pew seat was, and it starts to come up into your face. I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Cool.
No.
Let's see about that. Okay, so Constitution, the save is a +1, so that's great. So I'm rolling a d20 and adding +1 to that, correct?
Yes.
19 + 1 is a 20.
Okay. You don't have any. It has no immediate effect on you.
Mm-hmm.
But this gas is quickly filling the entire room.
I close it. I close this stupid
Oh.
door.
Yeah, the gas is continuing to leak out from it. It's not a perfect seal, and the gas is very quickly filling the entire room.
Cool.
God, what can we do?
Can we leave? Let's leave. Let's go back out the door we came in.
Yeah, how
Orange
quickly
is not running.
how quickly are you guys moving?
Orin takes off running full speed, just like getting the fuck out of here.
What's everybody's speed? Is that what everybody's doing? So take a dash action.
Are we in initiative?
Double. The gas is very quickly filling the room. So if you guys want to not be in the gas, I'm going to need everybody to move.
My speed
Double.
is 35 feet. Yeah.
I'm at 35 feet.
So I can move 50 feet, which should get me just to the door, I think.
Okay.
I just moved to 35 away from that first pew.
Okay. Gas hasn't reached you yet.
Okay.
I guess I have to wait. So each of these are how many feet? How many squares?
10.
The 10-foot squares.
So I should be able to hop over 1, 2, 3. That's as far as I can get, I think.
You get double your movement.
Oh, I've doubled my movement.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's like the equivalent to a dash action.
Then I should be able to get there.
Oh, do I
Okay.
get it too or no?
Yeah, everyone's getting the dash action.
5.
If that's what you guys want to do, you can move double your speed.
Cool. Okay. I've moved double my speed.
Tal just about makes it out too.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you've made it. You've all made it to about the door, and some of you into the. Well, wait. So Diaz, you're not all the way there.
Diaz had to run around. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to go
Okay.
up and then over.
All right. You're outside of the range of the sphere of where the gas is filling right now. So you've got another round if you want to do something with it.
I'm gonna continue running away and curse. Fuck
Yeah.
shit. God damn it. Nah, I'm over here.
Okay.
I'm gonna do another 50 feet of getting the fuck out. And note my way down this hallway.
Yep.
Full terror stricken, just like fuck.
Yep.
Well, shit. What are we gonna do? What can we do to dissipate gas?
Dwarves traditionally have some kind of poison resistance.
That is true.
Oh,
It just says
Tal
saving
has
throws
a-
against poison.
yeah. Tal has detect poison disease, protect from poison. Granted, he doesn't have any of these spells prepared right now, but he sure has.
He has advantage on saving
Awesome.
throws against poison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will have to say, so you guys, other than Diaz taking it right in the face, he took it right in the face and he didn't suffer any obvious immediate effect. The
Yeah.
rest of you haven't breathed any of it in, best you can tell. And the gas, so you don't know if it's poison gas, but it was green in color. Definitely doesn't look appetizing. And you guys, are you still running down that corridor? Where are you trying to get?
I'm gonna stay at the doorway to assess how much the gas continues to fill the space.
Okay, it is starting to. It's filled the entire room, and it is very quickly starting to enter the crawl space you guys are in.
Oh, are you serious? That's lame.
Uh,
It's at least
So I guess I'll
getting into
continue.
that first section. If you guys are on the door, you think you might end up breathing some of it in.
Yeah, we keep running.
Okay. I suppose I'm gonna keep running then.
Okay. You guys get, I'll say, about halfway down this section of crawl space, and the gas doesn't appear to be following you any further. It's not kind of coming around the corner,
Mhm.
but you seem safe now. The gas is not reaching you.
Okay. What do you all think is a good place to just stop until next week?
yeah, I think so.
Fuck, man.
Jeez.
This place sucks.
It does.
It's a tomb of suckiness, not tomb of horrors. I'm not scared. It's annoying.
I was. How nice was that though to like just be like, hey, maybe the pew's open, and then they did, and I thought I was like, hey, this is gonna be a good thing, and it was not.
And it wasn't. It's Gygax. I'm trying to see. Sometimes some of like the wind spells have lines about like it dissipate gases.
Right.
We'll see.
Like Windwall, which Tall knows, has a line that says, "The strong wind keeps fog, smoke, and other gases at bay."
What is it called? What spell is it? Windwall?
Windwall.
Oh, Auntie has that one prepared. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
he could use that one next session.
Yeah. All right. We'll see. Thanks,
Yeah.
everybody. Thanks for being cool about me not being on camera.
Yeah. No worries, dude.
Yeah.
I'll see you all next week.
See you next week, dude.
Yeah.
Alright, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Take care.